Have you ever felt drained, manipulated, or hurt after interacting with someone who only cares about themselves? If so, you've likely encountered a narcissist. They're like unpredictable storms, stirring up emotions and leaving devastating consequences in their wake. But don't lose heart. Stoic philosophy, with its timeless wisdom, equips you with powerful tools to navigate these challenges. You'll learn to maintain inner peace, focus on what you can control, and skillfully handle narcissists, preventing yourself from getting caught in their emotional whirlwind. Subscribe now to avoid missing our upcoming videos, where we'll explore 10 Stoic strategies for dealing with narcissists and reclaiming your mental freedom. Stay tuned until the end of the video for specific techniques and helpful advice to build a strong shield, protecting yourself from the negative impact of narcissists. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Number 1. Not getting drawn into what a narcissist says. When a narcissist starts engaging with you more frequently, you may quickly notice that they always try to capture your full attention. Whether you are aware of it or not, they will employ subtle tactics to make you unconsciously focus on them. This might happen by creating situations where you feel compelled to respond or feel the need to please them to maintain peace or avoid unnecessary conflict. Narcissists often have a unique ability to manipulate the emotions of others. They know how to target your weaknesses, when to appear charming, and when to show anger or disappointment to make you feel responsible for their emotions. Before you realize it, you may find yourself trapped in a cycle of trying to please them, feeling that you must adjust your life to accommodate their desires. This can lead to exhaustion, stress, and even a loss of direction in life. For example, imagine you have a coworker who frequently asks for your help with their tasks. Initially, you might not see this as a big deal, but gradually, they begin to demand more, asking you to handle their work and stay late to help them complete assignments. Whenever you refuse, they express dissatisfaction and imply that you are not good enough or reliable. Under this pressure, you might start doubting your own value and feel the need to do more to satisfy them. This is when you have fallen into the narcissist's strategy. Stoic philosophy offers us a powerful tool to deal with such situations. Inner control and the clear distinction between what we can and cannot control. Stoics believe that while we cannot control the actions or emotions of others, we can control how we respond to these situations. Therefore, when facing a narcissist, it is crucial not to let them invade your consciousness or control your thoughts and feelings. One of the most effective ways to avoid getting drawn into what a narcissist says is to maintain a clear sense of self-awareness about your values and personal goals. Regularly remind yourself of your strengths and the long-term objectives you're pursuing. When you focus on these things, it becomes harder for you to be distracted by the narcissist's demands or tricks. They may try to exert pressure, but if you remain steadfast in your values, you will not be swayed. For example, at work, if you know that your goal is to excel in your tasks and develop your personal skills, you will quickly recognize when a narcissistic colleague's request is pulling you away from that goal. When you notice this, you can politely decline, saying something like, "I'm sorry, but I need to focus on my project to ensure it's completed on time." Another strategy is to practice emotional detachment. Narcissists often use emotions to manipulate others, and this is particularly effective if you are easily influenced by their emotional displays. By maintaining a certain emotional distance, you can observe the situation more objectively. This does not mean becoming cold or unfeeling, but rather ensuring that your emotions are not dictated by the narcissist. For instance, If they show anger or disappointment when you refuse their request, remain calm and do not react emotionally. Instead, maintain composure and respond logically. Lastly, remember that everyone has their own strengths, weaknesses, and desires. Narcissists may try to make you feel that their wants and feelings are unique and paramount, but this is not true. Keep in mind that you also have the right to prioritize your own needs and desires. This not only helps protect your mental health, but also allows you to maintain your autonomy and prevent others from controlling your life. In conclusion, when dealing with a narcissist, it is crucial to stand firm in your beliefs. Do not allow yourself to be drawn into what they say or feel, pressured to satisfy their demands. By applying Stoic principles such as inner control, focusing on personal goals, and practicing emotional detachment, you can maintain peace of mind and prevent the narcissist from influencing your life. Number 2, expressing your thoughts. In life, we inevitably encounter and have to deal with people who possess narcissistic traits. However, this becomes even more challenging when the narcissist happens to be your child, sibling, close friend, or coworker. In such cases, ignoring or walking away to end arguments isn't always the optimal solution. Instead, one of the most effective ways to cope is to express your thoughts clearly and straightforwardly. When you remain silent in the face of a narcissist's negative behavior, you may inadvertently encourage them to continue. Narcissists often do not recognize or even care about the impact their behavior has on others. They tend to prioritize their ego and personal interests, often disregarding the feelings and needs of those around them. By speaking up, you not only protect yourself, but also send a clear message that their behavior is unacceptable and needs to change. When dealing with a narcissistic loved one, it's crucial to communicate specifically and consistently. Rather than criticizing their entire character, focus on specific behaviors they have exhibited and how those behaviors have affected you and others. For example, you could say, "When you constantly interrupt me during meetings, I feel like my opinions aren't being respected, and it makes it hard for me to concentrate on my work." By addressing the issue in a specific manner, you help them better understand the problem and make it easier for them to change. Additionally, it's important to clearly state how you expect to be treated. This helps the narcissist understand that you have your own limits and expectations which they need to respect. For instance, you could say, "I would appreciate it if you would listen to my entire opinion before giving your feedback next time." By establishing clear boundaries, you help protect yourself from future negative behaviors. Speaking up to a narcissist isn't always easy. You need to prepare yourself mentally for the possible reactions. Narcissists often don't care or pretend not to understand what others are saying. They may respond by attacking back, trying to prove that you are wrong for criticizing them. In such situations, it's crucial to stand your ground and not let them overpower you. Don't get drawn into pointless arguments or feel that you must defend your stance at all costs. Remember, your goal is to communicate your thoughts and feelings clearly, not to convince them to change immediately. For example, if they start to counterattack by saying you're always too sensitive, you can calmly respond, "I'm just sharing how I feel, and I hope you can respect that." One of the key strategies when dealing with a narcissist is not to show confusion or annoyance when they react negatively. Narcissists are often very perceptive of others' weaknesses, and they may try to exploit them to continue their psychological assault. If you show confusion or irritation, they may see it as a sign of weakness and could intensify their attack. Instead, maintain your calmness and confidence. By staying composed, You protect your mental state and make it more difficult for the narcissist to continue to dominate you. For instance, if they try to confuse you by saying, "You're blowing everything out of proportion," you can confidently respond, "I'm simply sharing my feelings, and that's important to me." This way, you retain control of the conversation and prevent the narcissist from undermining your mental fortitude. Consider a real-life scenario. You have a close friend from high school, but over the past few years you've noticed that this friend has become increasingly selfish, only concerned with their own interests. They frequently ask you to help them in unreasonable situations and never reciprocate your help. When you refuse, they get angry and accuse you of not caring about your friendship. In this case, instead of continuing to endure the situation or abruptly cutting ties, you could choose to speak up. You might sit down and talk to them frankly. "I've been feeling really exhausted because it seems like our friendship revolves only around your needs. I hope we can find a way to make this relationship more balanced, where we both can support and respect each other." By doing this, you not only protect your own interests, but also create an opportunity to improve the relationship in a positive direction. Number 3, setting clear boundaries with a narcissist. In the realm of relationships, narcissists often stand out with their arrogance and disregard for others. They believe they have the right to cross any boundary, invade personal space, and control the lives of those around them. This makes maintaining a healthy relationship with them a daunting challenge. To protect yourself and maintain balance in a relationship with a narcissist, establishing and upholding clear boundaries is crucial. Narcissists typically have an inflated ego, always putting themselves at the center and disregarding the feelings and needs of others. They believe they are entitled to priority, respect, and obedience. Consequently, they often disrespect personal boundaries, intrude on privacy, offer unsolicited advice, or even coerce others into sharing personal information they don't want to disclose. For example, a narcissistic friend might go through your phone messages without permission, rummage through your personal belongings, or constantly offer unsolicited advice about your life. They may also pressure you to share secrets or personal stories in front of others, leaving you feeling embarrassed and uncomfortable. Setting clear boundaries is how you protect yourself from the narcissist's intrusion and control. It helps you define what you will and won't tolerate in the relationship, creating a safe space for yourself. With clear boundaries, you'll feel more confident and empowered, while also sending a clear message to the narcissist that you are not easily manipulated. Establishing boundaries with a narcissist requires firmness and assertiveness. Start by identifying the specific behaviors that make you feel uncomfortable or violated. Then, communicate these boundaries to them directly and clearly. Use clear and specific statements such as, "I don't want you to look at my phone without my permission," or "I'm not comfortable when you share my personal stories with others." When the narcissist tries to cross your boundaries, firmly remind them of what you've said. Don't be afraid to displease or disappoint them. Remember, you have the right to protect yourself, and no one has the right to invade your personal space. So number 4, using the gray rock strategy to deal with narcissists. One of the most effective ways to deal with a narcissist is by using the gray rock strategy, a method that helps you avoid being influenced by them and maintain your calm in any situation. When you show no reaction and do not let them affect you, the narcissist will not be able to achieve what they desire. The gray rock strategy is a psychological method aimed at minimizing the impact a narcissist can have on you. The main idea of this approach is to become emotionally invisible to the narcissist, much like a gray rock, uninteresting, unresponsive, and not easily influenced. When the narcissist does not receive the reaction they expect from you, they will gradually lose interest and move on to find another target who is easier to control. This method is particularly useful in situations where you cannot avoid contact with the narcissist, such as in family relationships, work environments, or close friendships. By appearing uninterested and unresponsive, you maintain control over your own psychology and prevent them from manipulating your emotions or behavior. In the workplace, it's hard to avoid interacting with colleagues who have narcissistic traits. They may try to prolong conversations to grab attention or test your patience. To apply the gray rock strategy, you can cut short the conversation by finding an excuse to leave. For example, when a narcissistic colleague starts complaining or saying negative things, you might politely respond, "I need to finish this task. Let's talk later." This way, you maintain courtesy while avoiding being drawn into pointless debates. In personal relationships, especially with a partner who has narcissistic tendencies, they may use conflict or provocation as a tactic to control your emotions. If you react strongly or get angry, you unintentionally give them more energy. Instead, apply the gray rock method by not reacting. For instance, if your partner deliberately says something to incite conflict, you can simply respond in a neutral tone, "Maybe," or "I understand." Then, shift your focus to something else, preventing the conversation from escalating. Your calmness and lack of reaction will make it difficult for them to continue controlling you. For those with narcissistic parents, conversations can often turn into power struggles or emotional confrontations. Narcissistic parents may try to steer the conversation by changing the topic or using criticism to control you. In this situation, applying the gray rock strategy by sticking to the topic and not letting the conversation derail is crucial. For example, if you're discussing a specific plan and your parent begins to complain about an unrelated topic, you can gently steer the conversation back by saying, "We were talking about the weekend plans. Let's focus on that." This way, you maintain control over the conversation and prevent them from leading you in the direction they want. The gray rock strategy is an effective method for dealing with narcissists in everyday relationships. By showing no reaction and not letting them influence you, you maintain control and calm in any situation. This not only protects you from negative behaviors, but also helps you preserve your autonomy and mental strength in life. Number 5. Don't reveal your true intentions and plans to a narcissist. Behind their flashy and confident exterior, narcissists harbor deep insecurities. They fear abandonment, being looked down upon, and feeling undervalued. To mask these vulnerabilities, they construct a perfect facade, an idealized image of themselves that they want the world to see. And to maintain this image, they won't hesitate to belittle, manipulate, and even destroy those around them. Narcissists always want to have the upper hand in any situation. They will constantly seek out your weaknesses, your secrets, your fears, and insecurities, so they can use them against you. They may appear caring, attentive, and understanding, but in reality, they are merely gathering information to exploit for their own purposes. In the psychological battle with a narcissist, information is your most powerful weapon. Remember, anything you share, any emotion you reveal, can be used by them to manipulate and control you. Therefore, learn to keep your cards close to your chest. Don't let them see through your true thoughts and feelings. Limit sharing personal information, future plans, or your weaknesses with a narcissist. Maintain a safe distance. Don't let them invade your privacy. And when interacting with them, Be careful with your words. Don't reveal any information that they could take advantage of. If you must interact with a narcissist, try to misdirect them with misleading information. Create an image of yourself that you want them to see, an image without the weaknesses they can exploit. Talk about your successes modestly, or share your future plans vaguely and without specifics. For example, if you're looking for a new job, don't tell the narcissist about the specific companies you're applying to. Instead, say generally that you're looking for new opportunities and exploring various options. Or if you're facing difficulties in a relationship, don't share specific details about the problem with the narcissist. Instead, say that you're going through a challenging phase and trying to find a solution. Stoic philosophy teaches us that happiness and peace do not depend on external events, but on how we react to them. When facing a narcissist, remember that you have control over your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Don't let them manipulate you. Don't let them take away your peace. Focus on self-development, cultivate healthy relationships, and live a meaningful life. Remember, you deserve happiness, and you have the strength to overcome any challenge, even those posed by narcissists. Number 6. Stay calm. Narcissists, with their inherent desire to control and assert dominance, often attempt to manipulate the relationships around them by creating tense situations and provoking others. One of the tactics they use is to lure others into toxic dialogues where they can escalate conflict and gain the upper hand. Their goal is to make you lose your composure, allowing them to assert their power and control the situation as they wish. However, the best way to deal with a narcissist in these situations is to avoid getting caught up in their game from the very beginning. Narcissists are often skilled at reading people and knowing how to exploit their weaknesses to achieve their goals. When they feel they are losing control, they will try to create conflict by provoking your emotions. They might do this by criticizing, mocking, or humiliating you in front of others. Their aim is to elicit an angry or hurt reaction from you, allowing them to regain control by offering further criticism or playing the victim. For example, in a work meeting, a narcissist might suddenly criticize your idea in a public setting, making you feel insulted. They might say something like, "I don't understand why you think that's a good idea. It's obviously not going to work." Faced with this situation, many people might feel offended and start arguing to defend their idea. However, this is precisely the trap the narcissist has set. By making you lose your composure and react angrily, they succeed in controlling the conversation and putting you at a disadvantage. To outmaneuver a narcissist in these conversations, you need to remain calm and avoid getting drawn into conflict. One of the most effective ways to do this is by using communication techniques that the narcissist cannot predict or control. Here are some methods you can try. Compliment them. This is an unexpected way to diffuse the situation and throw the narcissist off balance. When they start criticizing or mocking you, instead of reacting with anger, you can respond with a compliment. For example, if they criticize your idea in a meeting, you might say, "I've always been impressed by your attention to detail." This not only takes the wind out of their sails, but also shifts the conversation in a more positive direction. Ask for their opinion. Narcissists often want to feel more important and valuable than others. You can use this to your advantage by genuinely asking for their opinion. This not only helps you avoid conflict, but also makes them feel respected, thereby reducing tension. For example, when they begin criticizing one of your ideas, instead of reacting defensively, you could ask, "Do you think there's a better way to approach this?" This question not only shows that you respect their opinion, but also help steer the conversation away from conflict. Use we statements. When a narcissist tries to escalate conflict, they often try to shift the responsibility onto others and distance themselves from the issue. By using we statements, you can blur the lines between both parties and shift the focus from conflict to collaboration. For example, if they start blaming you for a problem, you might say, "I think we both said things we might regret." This statement not only helps to reduce tension, but also encourages them to work with you to find a solution rather than continuing to argue. Suppose you have a close friend who often tries to create conflict whenever the opportunity arises. Every time you meet, this friend regularly criticizes your decisions, trying to make you feel inadequate or wrong. In a recent outing, this friend started criticizing you for choosing a cafe they didn't like, mocking your taste in the process. Instead of reacting with anger, you could apply the compliment tactic to diffuse the situation. "I've always admired your refined taste. I'm sure you'll have a better suggestion next time." This not only helps you avoid conflict, but also makes it harder for your friend to continue attacking you. Narcissists can be formidable opponents in conversations, but by remaining calm and not getting drawn into conflict, you can outmaneuver them. Using communication techniques such as giving compliments, asking for opinions, and using we statements will help you maintain control in the conversation, preventing the narcissist from achieving their goals and keeping the relationship more stable. Number 7. Keeping distance and maintaining personal space. In toxic relationships with narcissists, maintaining distance and avoiding them is the most effective strategy to protect yourself and regain inner peace. Narcissists, driven by their inherent need for control and manipulation, will relentlessly seek to infiltrate your life, exploit your vulnerabilities, and use them to achieve their own ends. However, they cannot accomplish this if you cut off all contact, erecting a firm barrier between you and them. This is a difficult decision, especially when the person is a loved one or colleague, but it is the only way to break free from the toxic cycle and reclaim your freedom. The no-contact rule is a strategy widely recommended by experts for dealing with narcissists. It requires you to completely sever all ties with the person, both physically and emotionally. This includes blocking them on your phone and social media. Prevent all forms of direct communication, including texts, calls, and emails. Unfriend or block them on social media platforms to avoid being monitored or contacted. Avoiding mutual friends. Limit interactions with mutual friends, especially those who might pass on information about you to the narcissist. If necessary, explain your situation and request that they respect your privacy. Not allowing yourself to think about them. This is perhaps the most challenging part, but it's also the most crucial. Try not to think about the narcissist. Don't dwell on the past, and don't fantasize about the future. Instead, focus on the present and the positive aspects of your life. The no-contact rule may not be feasible in some situations, particularly if you are trapped in an abusive relationship or are financially dependent. If you cannot leave the narcissist immediately, start planning for the future. Seek support from friends, family, or professional organizations to safely and swiftly exit the situation. Even if you can't fully implement the no-contact rule, maintaining personal space and limiting contact with the narcissist is still essential. Establish clear boundaries and resolutely defend them. Do not allow them to encroach upon your personal space, both physically and emotionally. For example, if you live with a narcissist, create a private space for yourself where you can relax and recharge without being disturbed. If you work with them, Limit interactions outside of work and avoid sharing personal information. Number 8. Thorough preparation for what you want to say. When dealing with a narcissist, thorough preparation for what you want to say is crucial. Narcissists often find it difficult to listen and accept other people's opinions, especially when those opinions criticize or request a change in their behavior. Therefore, if you wish to conduct an intervention, such as a family discussion to address ongoing issues, you must ensure that your message is clear, consistent, and not easily distorted or dismissed. Focus on key messages first and foremost. Clearly identify the key messages you want to convey. This not only helps you stay focused on the goals of the conversation, but also ensures that you do not get caught up in unimportant details or useless arguments. When preparing, write down the main points you want to emphasize. These could include specific issues the family is facing due to the narcissist's behavior, as well as why the intervention is necessary. For example, if your family is experiencing tension because one member constantly demands attention and priority over everyone else, you could start by stating this issue. We are facing a situation where everyone in the family feels neglected and disrespected because all the attention is focused on one person. This is unfair and is causing a lot of stress in the family. Prepare the reasons why the intervention is necessary. One of the most important elements of the intervention is to clearly explain why it is necessary. Narcissists often tend to deny responsibility and fail to recognize the negative impact their behavior has on others. Therefore, explaining specifically and convincingly why the intervention is needed will help you build a strong argument that is difficult to refute. You might say something like, "We need to have this conversation because if this situation continues, it will have serious consequences for all of our mental health. We cannot continue to live in a state of constant stress, and without change, everyone will become more distant, and it will be difficult to maintain a healthy family relationship." Additionally, provide specific examples of how the narcissist's behavior has affected the family. For example, you could say, "Every time we try to organize a family event, it always revolves around how to avoid upsetting you. This makes everyone feel pressured and unable to enjoy time together comfortably." Prepare a plan B if the narcissist refuses to cooperate. In many cases, the narcissist may refuse to cooperate or even react strongly when confronted. This doesn't mean you've failed, but rather that you need to have a plan B to continue dealing with the situation. Preparing alternative plans in advance ensures that you won't be caught off guard and can maintain your resolve. Plan B could include seeking external support, such as a psychologist or family counselor, to help mediate the discussions. You might also consider other options like limiting contact or setting clear boundaries to protect yourself and your family from the narcissist's negative influence. For example, you could say, "If you are not willing to listen and discuss this issue, we will need to seek a family counselor to help us work through this. We cannot continue to live in this state of tension, and I believe getting outside help will benefit all of us." Strengthen your resolve. One of the most important things when dealing with a narcissist is to strengthen your resolve. Narcissists can be very skilled at manipulating others' emotions, making you feel guilty or even causing you to doubt yourself. Therefore, reinforcing your determination before entering the conversation is essential. Remember that your goal is to improve the situation for everyone, not just the narcissist. Don't let them distract you or change your decision simply because they refuse to cooperate. Always keep in mind that you are doing this for the benefit of the entire family and for your mental health. Finally, remind yourself that not every intervention will yield immediate results, and sometimes the process takes time. The important thing is that you have prepared thoroughly and are ready to face any situation regardless of whether it unfolds as you expected. Number 9. Don't try to change them, a Stoic lesson in dealing with narcissists. One of the most common mistakes we make when dealing with narcissists is trying to change them. We believe that through love, care, or sincere advice, we can reform them, help them recognize their mistakes, and change their behavior. However, the harsh reality is that narcissists rarely change. They are trapped in a delusional world of their own perfection and power, and any attempt to challenge that world is seen as a personal attack. Trying to change a narcissist is not only a futile task, but it can also cause you pain and disappointment. You will spend countless hours and energy trying to persuade, argue, and hope. But in the end, you will only receive frustration and hurt. Narcissists won't change for you. They only change when they genuinely want to, and that usually only happens when they face severe consequences for their behavior. Instead of trying to change the narcissist, Stoic philosophy advises us to focus on what we can control: our own thoughts, emotions, and actions. Accept that the narcissist will not change, at least not in the short term. Stop hoping for a miraculous transformation and focus on protecting yourself and building a happy life independent of their influence. This doesn't mean you have to completely cut ties with the narcissist, especially if they are a loved one or a colleague. But you need to establish clear boundaries and firmly protect them. Don't let them take advantage of your kindness or empathy. Don't let them manipulate your emotions or decisions. Learn to say no when necessary, and don't be afraid to walk away from situations that make you feel uncomfortable or hurt. Remember, you are not responsible for the narcissist's happiness. You cannot change them, but you can change how you react to them. By focusing on yourself and what you can control, you will find inner peace and freedom, even when faced with narcissists. Imagine you are standing before a storm. You cannot stop the storm, but you can find a safe shelter. Similarly, when dealing with a narcissist, find ways to protect yourself and avoid getting caught in their emotional whirlwind. Focus on building a meaningful and happy life for yourself, and you will find that the narcissist can no longer hurt you. Number 10. Focus on your personal goals. Narcissists, with their manipulative tendencies and constant need for attention, can easily lead us astray from our own paths. They sow seeds of doubt, making us question our self-worth, and use false praise to control us according to their whims. But remember, you are the master of your own life, and no one has the right to take away your dreams and goals. Don't let the sweet words or harsh criticisms of a narcissist distract you from what truly matters. Hold steadfast to your personal goals, core values, and burning passions. Continue to learn, grow, and improve yourself, regardless of negative remarks or lack of support from others. Imagine yourself as a sturdy tree in the midst of a forest. No matter how fierce the storm, no matter how many surrounding plants are swept away, you remain standing tall, your roots deeply embedded in the earth, reaching toward the sky. Similarly, let your goals and values become the solid foundation of your life, keeping you unshaken by external influences. When a narcissist tries to sway you, remind yourself of what you're striving for, of the dreams you're pursuing. Focus on self-improvement, honing your skills and expanding your knowledge. Seek support from genuine friends who truly care about you and want to see you succeed. Above all, remember that true happiness and success come from living a meaningful life, one that aligns with your own values and goals. Don't let a narcissist define your worth or dictate your direction. Be yourself, live your life, and let your light shine, regardless of any surrounding darkness. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploring 10 Stoic ways to deal with narcissists. We hope these strategies are not just mere knowledge, but also useful tools to help you untangle the knots in complex relationships and rediscover balance and inner peace. Remember, dealing with a narcissist is not a battle to be won, but a journey of self-protection and self-nurturing. By applying Stoic principles, you can build a strong shield for your soul, helping you stand firm against emotional storms and toxic words. If this video has brought you positive value, don't hesitate to hit the like button and share it with friends who might need this advice. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay updated on future videos, where we'll continue to explore profound life philosophies and effective self-development methods. Life is a continuous journey of learning and growth. Let Stoic philosophy accompany you, helping you overcome challenges, find inner peace, and live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Thank you sincerely, and see you in the next videos.